liberator, but you can't murder liberation. You can murder revolutionary, but you can't murder revolution. And you can murder a freedom fighter, but you can't murder freedom.
You're tapped in, so let's get right to it. So this thing, and this thing I'm about to refer to is no longer or should no longer be referred to as boycotting. The Black community has spoken and spoken loud and clear. There seems to be a definitive move or motion towards group economics. Now, the thing about group economics is that, hey, there's a positive side to that, especially for the Black community. Now, some in other demographics may not look at it as such or see it that way. They may be looking at it like, oh, you guys are being racist towards us because you won't spend your dollars with us anymore. That's not racism. That's not racism. And again, to make this perfectly clear, we're speaking about wealth transfer and or group economics. Okay. Now, group economics could be pooling resources by buying from Black owned businesses, reinvesting dollars within the community. And it has some clear upsides to it. Well, in fact, for us, it's all upside. You know what I mean? It's a good look for us. It serves us in this respect, or in the respect that most of businesses in our community, they serve us just in terms of getting our dollars, sell us products. The money they get from the community never returns to the community. Again, we've said it here on tap many times that when we have these other demographics who have businesses in our community, very rarely, or if at all, they will annually come back to the community and say, hey, here's X amount of dollars for improvements or renovations on the youth center or an after school education center, a STEM lab or something like that. You never hear of this. You never hear of customers going back to a business that's been in our community for generations and saying, hey, this month, everything you buy, we'll take care of it, because we appreciate your business. We respect you. And the fact that you have helped our family put our children through school, buy our home, or have us living a lifestyle that a lot of you wish you had. You never hear that. That's something that you will never experience or hear from these demographics who have businesses in our community. And that goes for all of them. So when we're now addressing this issue about group economics or wealth transfer, it seems to have hit a nerve in those who have been in the community servicing us in terms of the products they sell or we buy. Now that we think that it's best for us to do our thing with Black businesses, it's an issue. It's an issue, but it never was an issue when these same demographic or these people who had these businesses from other demographics tended to disrespect and not appreciate our people or our dollars. So the Black man and woman has finally woken up, and to a great extent, let me add, a great extent, this thing is working for us. It's working for us. And a lot of us have gotten to the point where we understand that this is not about being vindictive or retaliatory. No, this is not motivated by anger. This is about being motivated by the love of our people. This is about us realizing that, you know what, we could do better by ourselves. We can do better by ourselves. We can bring changes that we need in our community ourselves. For us to look to others to do anything for us is the mistake we've been making for a very, very long time now. That has changed. And for that, in that respect, that does well for us. It makes us feel good, realizing that, yeah, all this time, we've had each other. We've had each other and no one else has had us. So group economics, wealth transfer is a great thing. It is something that's going to help build our economics, our economy in our communities. And we see signs of this happening as I speak. And so again, hey, shout out to the people, stay the course. Now let's speak to something because it needs to be spoken to in this respect. It's been said, okay, well, Rick Chow and, other Koreans, Asians, Chinese, whoever have been treating the Black people like this for a very, very long time. True. Let's be realistic though, people. Before them, there are others. They've also been doing the same thing to us. So I'm bringing this up to say it is time to pivot. This thing, this group economic movement, this wealth transfer movement needs to be all inclusive for, and then not just in the respect of who's been treating us bad. There's that. Let's be mindful of that. Before them, there were others who did it. They learned it from them. They learned to do this to us because others were doing it or had been doing it. We're going to do this thing. Let's be all inclusive. Let's figure out ways like we're doing now to go and get the things we need from Black businesses. And if those Black businesses do not exist, whereas we need certain products for our homes, our lives, whatever, the children, then Black businesses need to be created to serve the Black community, no matter what it is. In other words, we need to, hey, our money needs to stay with us as best as we can. Keep our money within our communities. We should strive to do exactly that. And now, if we're going to, again, hold Asians' feet to the fire in terms of racism, discrimination, murder, things of that nature, we have to look at what's at top, what's been happening from the top that trickles down. As we know, our government, state, city, state, they employ people who murder us, brutalize us, oppress us, and yet we continue to do business with these entities or these people. We're going to be across the board, straight across the board. Then we have to be mindful that, okay, we need to also extract our money from their services. Do not, do business with these people as well. I'm pretty sure when we started out with this endeavor to, boycott initially, these businesses that did not treat us well, a lot of us thought that, oh, we're not going to be able to do that. A lot of us believed, because it was being said by that other demographic, that, Joe, you guys can't survive without us. We proved them wrong. In fact, our history says we're capable, or we're able to do whatever we choose to do, if we so choose to do it. We could take into consideration historical facts and receipts in terms of what our people have done for themselves without the help of any other demographic. Our survival, us surviving and thriving, is something we know all too well. No one can tell us otherwise. So don't believe that. We're going to do this. We need to do this around the board. It should be all encompassing. When police shoot and kill our people and the city allows it, give them a slap on the wrist, put them back behind the desk and bring them back on the job, send them to another precinct, but keep them. They do not get prosecuted. They don't lose their job, diplomat, or they don't use their immunity. Hey, then we say, okay, we got your number. This is how we're going to go about doing business now. And that's what we should be standing on. For every demographic or every entity that does this to us or allow this to be done to us, okay, then we should know how to deal with these people or these entities. And there should be no second guessing ourselves in terms of how we should go about dealing with this stuff. If the Mexicans are acting the same way as the Asians act, if the Indians are acting the same way as the Asians act, if the Jewish are acting the same way as the Asians act, if the whites are acting the same way as the Asians act, then it's only right that we do this all around the board. And don't think for a minute we can't do it, that it won't be something that we can accomplish or be successful in, because we can be. All right. Now, wealth building, this is what we should have been on. When all our people historically did everything they did to have their own grocery stores, gas stations, hospitals, businesses, schools. And they did that. They did it on their own. And as a result, people saw, oh shit, they are very capable. And they decided to do some things to, dismantle and destroy everything we've built. The fact of the matter is, they know, like we should know, We're very capable of doing whatever we set our minds to do. I'm saying, suggesting, and others that we should do exactly what we're supposed to be doing. We have the blueprint. Historically, our people have shown us that this is something that not only we can do, but we can be very successful at. We have spending power of over $2 trillion. That's political leverage. That is political leverage. That's leverage, period, point blank. Let's get a hold of our dollars and let's exercise some leverage politically as well as financially. This is something we could do. But now we're in this stage, right? We have to pivot. We have to continue to make these moves. This movement has to progress. It has to keep going forward. Let's not allow it to become stagnated or static. We want this movement. Wealth building is a part of this movement, okay? So money that circulates locally before leaving the community creates more jobs, more business growth, and more capital formation, all right? This matters a lot given the persistent racial wealth gap in the U.S. It's another great reason to do this. See, we can go in and close them gaps ourselves. We can fill those holes and voids ourselves, should we decide to do it. We don't have to wait for no president, no government, or nothing. You know, we don't have to protest, cry, complain, or anything. We could take steps, take action to eliminate these gaps that exist and have been existing since we've been here. This is our work, our obligation. Stop looking to other people to do things for. Stop being dependent on a system that cares nothing about you. That's our mistake. We trust the system that we know means it's no good. Let's take care of our business, our way. Now, the historical precedent is this. Places like Tulsa's Greenwood District, Black Wall Street, showed what concentrated internal investment could produce, especially at a time when Black Americans were largely locked out of white-owned banks, insurers, and businesses. Boom. There it is right there. We've proven that we can do whatever we choose to do. All right. So if we want to have Black banks, hospitals, schools, insurers, businesses, we can. We can. Now, there is this thing I want to, in terms of response to exclusion, not in exclusion itself, but response to exclusion, not exclusion itself, redlining, all right, discriminatory lending and segregation historically forced Black communities to build parallel economic institutions just to survive. Group economics grew partly out of necessity. Now, if we're not in that thing, that frame of mind, that situation right now, I don't know what you know what is or is not. We're in a situation where necessity calls for us to get together and create this group economic platform, a foundation, this wealth transfer that will benefit Black people. And as a result, whether a lot of people think so, believe it, or trust it or not, others will also benefit in some form or fashion. But mainly, it's about the benefits that we receive in the Black community for us first. This is why this is so necessary. Okay. Now, community resilience, local ownership tends to mean local investment in jobs, mentorship, and institutions that serve the community's specific needs. On the racial question, because there is talk now about what we're doing, group economics, wealth transfer. You guys are being racist. It's anti-Asian, right? Imagine that. Imagine someone calling you a racist because you want to spend your money with your people. Do we call them racist when they spend their money with their people? They circulate their money within their communities for long periods of time before it leaves the community. Is that racist? It's not something we called racist, but all of a sudden it's racist. And then to boot, there's talk about Asians pushing to have that anti-Asian bill include now a section where if you're boycotting them, it's racism, it's anti-racist. We have to be mindful of what these games are going to be or how these moves are going to be made in response to how we're going about doing business now. People are going to try to find a way to buck what we're doing, to keep us in line, to keep us where we serve them rather than, it being an fair exchange. You know what I mean? So, hey, don't look at it as racism. So you can't be racism because I don't want to spend my money with you. How's that racist? There's a black business that services, provides the same services and products as you do. What's wrong with me wanting to spend my money there? That's not racist. That's just me thinking in terms of my people, helping my people. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, on the racist question, most people wouldn't call it racist for a few reasons. It's generally about preference and solidarity. This is what we're on. We're on preference and solidarity, all right? Not exclusion. Practicing group economics means choosing to support Black-owned businesses. It doesn't mean refusing to serve or do business with people of other races. That distinction matters a lot in most definitions of racism, which center on discrimination or harm directed at others. All right. It has close analogies in other communities, Chinatowns, Jewish business networks, Korean American merchant associations, by the way, both of which the Chinese merchant groups and the Korean merchant groups are finding ways to lock out Black vendors. These suppliers of these products that a lot of our people use or being denied them. That would be racism, you know. Or Black come in, they can't buy, you know, large quantities of Black supplies or products to go sell in their stores. This is for I would think that would be racist, you know. But a good thing though, and I meant to bring this up a few episodes back. We're in a situation where Black women now can go back to that natural state and still be the most beautiful woman on the face of the planet. That natural look, culture, representing the culture. You're accepting your natural beauty the Creator gave you. So that might be also a good thing, and a lot of us are hoping that, yeah, keep your stuff, man. Let's see if your own people buy that shit. But it gives our women an opportunity to go back all natural and appreciate their look and their beauty. You know, just appreciate what the Creator gave them. There's nothing wrong with that. So this thing may work again in our favor. It's going to work again in our favor. So that's a good look as far as we're concerned. But anyway, there are Chinatowns, Jewish business networks, Korean American merchant associations that use the same basic strategy: in group solidarity, community capital, without being widely labeled racist. All right. Some critics do argue any group-based economic strategy is inherently divisive, or that it won't scale to fix structural problems like lending discrimination, arguing broader fixes are needed instead. Others push back that buy local, buy Black campaigns get scrutinized in ways similar campaigns for other groups don't. All right. So we see a situation that is taking place, and that is benefiting the Black community that have others up in arms, so to speak, dismayed, upset even over the fact that Blacks have decided to utilize or spend their dollars within the Black community or with Black businesses. This has become an issue for those vendors or businesses who have normally, or let's say historically, been providing services to the Black community, but again, with no respect or appreciation for those customers who frequent their businesses or who help them live a better life. That's not something we don't have to apologize for what we're doing. What we need to do is continue to do what we've been doing. We suggest here at TAP that this thing should be all inclusive. If this thing started as a result of injustices, murder, discrimination, racism, brutality, even oppression in a lot of ways, then this thing should affect each and every segment of society or demographic that has exhibited and acted in the same fashion. We see this evolving, this movement evolving, and we say it's a good thing. It's a good thing. We need not worry about what people say or think in terms of how we need to go about establishing our independence, especially financially. Our financial independence is our leverage. And this is what we should practice, okay? Now, to help me along, give this more context, I have a clip, and this clip involves, it is speaking to, people who are out in the streets every day, recording and coming to terms with the situation and is accepting it. For the most part, the majority, everybody we're going to hear today is in support of this. Also, there are going to be certain practices shown by certain demographics when it comes to food service and things of that nature in our communities. All right. And being said, without further ado, let's bring this clip. Before I do, please like, share, follow, comment, and subscribe to TAP. You are tapped in. This is the art of political discourse. We appreciate your participation and viewership. So thank you very much for that. Let's get to it. Again, this thing is going swimmingly, and again, we see it evolving for our benefit. There's nothing wrong with that, you guys. We are due. We are due. Okay, here we go.
What it do, y'all? So yeah, word on the street is that the large Asian beauty supply chains, they gonna start blocking a lot of us indigenous individuals from owning our own business, by not selling us the supplies that we need. But
now, I've said in the past that they will come out of the woodwork, and we have to understand what their strategy will be, what they'll have to do to get us back in their stores spending money. They will play hardball with us, but we knew that they would come out of the woodwork in a lot of respects. One thing is that, okay, since there are Black beauty supply businesses all throughout the country, those who actually has the control of the products, the wholesalers or whatever, they're going to prevent Black beauty supply businesses from buying those products, especially in bulk. So, that's going to be part of this struggle, this fight, and we have to be prepared for that. We have to be prepared for that. And this is what I say in terms, see, if this is a wealth transition, this also has to be a cultural transition. This may be a good look for our sisters, man, to go back to them styles, that shows your Afrocentric vibe, that energy, that culture. Again, no matter how, you're more beautiful with your natural look, that wool, them curly head, do your thing, the cornrow, whatever, bring it back. It's sisters' time to step into this fray as well. Support this get down because it's for the people, the betterment of the community. So we need not worry about that, because that is a tactic they'll use. Next, they'll go to the politicians. They'll try to get these laws passed to where they'll try to make us, force or coerce us to buy their products. And if not, then you could be labeled, or you could be possibly charged with discrimination, a hate crime. Imagine that, So yeah, the fix is in, and yet we don't have to respond to any of that. Let's stay the course. Let's focus on the focus. Group economics, Okay, let's get back to this clip.
that's cool. That's all right. I mean, there's other supply chains, and we can make our own product. And when it comes down to the hair and all that, listen, y'all can sit on that shit. It's like the dope game. Eventually, y'all gonna get tired of sitting on that dope, man. And you ain't gonna have nobody else to sell it to but us. You know what I'm saying? So, and guess what? Then we get it for the price that we want. So if you want to play this,
no, by that time we ain't gonna want it no more. So let's hope they do that. We're not gonna want it. Great. Our sisters have so many different choices. You know, and that's the beauty of us as well. Our people, we're so creative. You know, you put a roadblock up, we'll figure a way around it, over it, under it, maybe even through it. So, hey, let it do what it do.
stalemate game, go right ahead, man. You know, we could find other people and we can maintain, but hey, eventually you're gonna come see us. We are
pure example of fuck around and find out. The Asians challenged us. I mean, what? What? You gonna challenge us? That we've been here for the longest, dealing with obstacles and challenges and struggles. If we don't know how to get through some bullshit, nobody do.
That's right.
But check this out.
A Korean barbecue. This place is completely empty. It's a Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. and it's completely empty. This place is owned by Koreans and they named it Big Sisters and has a black face on the restaurant sign. You're going to tell me that they don't play games with our lives, our money, our opportunities.
Honey, a while back, probably about 6 months ago, I came pulling up in here because I saw Big Sisters. And to me, that indicated this was a black restaurant. Excuse me. And it was barbecue. And I'm thinking, oh, they might have something that I might like. Honey, I pulled up into this lot and I started investigating, inspecting. And I'm like, there's a black face on there, but I see K barbecue. And then a little smaller sign says Korean barbecue. I'm like, okay, this ain't that. This ain't that. Yeah. They trying to cosplay and play games with our culture. And if that ain't enough, they want us to spend our money on this fake bullshit. It's fake. That's exactly what it is. Those are the facts. It's a fake store, a fake restaurant. They are using black people. And here's someone coming out of the restaurant now. And that's definitely an Asian. He's definitely Asian. I would say probably Chinese, or Korean. I don't know. They all look the same to me. Sorry. Did and all of that. No, this is real, baby. This is real. Look at this.
And there has been allegations. It is alleged that they use a lot of roadkill. They've been cited for their receipts on it. This is just all the more reason for us to say, wait a minute. We know we don't eat roadkill. We don't eat rats and dogs and cats, you know, and it's been alleged that this is what a lot of these places serve. You know, we're not the wiser. They got it covered in sauces and stuff. How the hell you going to be able to tell a piece of rat from a piece of beef if it's cooked right, you know? Who knows? Or a piece of chicken, who knows? Roadkill is roadkill. We got no business serving it. But this is what they've been alleged to have been doing, to have done.
Shit. Look at it.
Ain't no fucking way, boy.
Look at this.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
I told you they don't have pets.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
They eat them and they're feeding them to you. Look at this, the garbage. He's getting sauce out the garbage, or she, whatever that is. This is what you're eating. Be proud of what you put into your system, and while you're always sick, while your health is failing. Look at that, rats. Barbecue rats.
I'm telling you, she said barbecue rat. I swear to God, they're gonna say barbecue rat. Barbecue rat.
It's science. It's food science. Now look at this place. She got to stand up on a chair because she's picking up an order, and they have rats. And these idiots are sitting here from the trenches of hell and don't even have a clue that rats are bad. This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, honey, look at what the blacks are doing. You always want to know what the blacks are doing, right? You guys always want to know what the blacks are doing. I hear it all the time. What are the blacks doing? What are blacks saying? How are they cooking it?
How are they dancing? And now we're keeping our money in our pocket. You can't stand it. You're racist if you don't understand that our dollars that we work for matter. Black dollars matter.
Right.
But I'm not mad at you. I'm so happy to know that we understand who you really are. Our people can finally be more comfortable in a Black-owned shop or establishment than taking your abuse, negative behavior, hurting our children, holding us hostage, making prepays, and all this ridiculousness while you're sitting in our community. Make it make sense. You're in our community and you've taken over like you are the kings and queens. But I'm so happy to see that my community is waking up. There's still a few of you out there didn't get the memo. So we're going to have to make sure you understand what's going on. But hey, we're doing it, making national news. Stock markets are crashing. I mean, you name it. We're doing it. 2.1 trillion Black dollars is doing it. Keep it going, my friends. Keep it going, family. Don't ever give up on this cause. Don't ever let them call you back. I don't care if it is 1 cent. We don't want it. It's trash anyway.
Okay. Okay. Great point. Great point. Now I'm going to play this part because I wasn't initially, and she's asking a question, or Rufus Jenny Triplet is asking a question. So it's everyone's fault? Question mark. Shouldn't there be some type of separation instead of lumping everyone together? Question mark. Everyone didn't do it. Now to answer that, I would love to answer that. What we do know is just right now they're at the the Chinese or the Koreans, they're at the forefront because they've been, you know, in the news quite a bit for a long time in terms of how they treated not just Black people, but the Black dollar, the appreciation for our business. They have been above board, with a lot of us. That is because, see, what we see or what we're being exposed to by these people is a culture that actually exists, not just in their communities, not just from where they come from, but in their homes, the very homes. This is the culture. This is the attitude, the mindset of Asians. And Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Vietnamese, Cambodian, Malaysian, Indonesian, Indian, whatever. The fact of the matter is they all hold a certain disrespect for each and every one of us, even when they're getting our dollars, So we're saying, hey, wait a minute. The move should be then to do our own thing, not run the risk of giving anyone another opportunity to show what we already know about them. It's just that they are caught right now, but the rest of them, like I say, they all practice it, as well as the Mexicans, the Jewish, the whites. I'm like, hey, all of them need to be confronted and dealt with in the respect that, okay, our money stays with us for as long as we can keep it there. But not only that, but we establish financial institutions, which can be done, backed by the FDIC, as well as I think it's the NCUA. That's the National Credit Union Association. We want not just banks, but credit unions as well. This is how we establish and place our money under the guidelines, strict guidelines, legitimate, regulations and requirements, so that we don't catch any flack from those who really gonna have an attitude or issue with how we, spend our dollars. This can be done. But she had something to say in regards to this, and I'm like, hey, listen, it doesn't matter because I don't think it should be looked at or addressed as a race issue or an anger issue, more so of a love for self, a solidarity issue, a coming together issue, establishing our own group economics and wealth transfer to our communities where it serves us better. That's how we need to, start looking at this thing, man. Anything other than that, I think is just, playing into the mindset of those who need us back where we matter most to them, spending our dollars, need us back in their stores, spending our dollars.
Help me understand. Chime in the comments, sister.
Okay.
Sorry.
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. I love the initiative. Let's keep it going.
That's right.
Every time something happens to our people, I love the initiative. But let's focus less on not shopping with people. Let's focus less on not shopping with MAGA and not shopping with Asian. Let's focus more on shopping with Black. Because just because you refuse to go to these Asian restaurants and these Asian businesses doesn't mean that you're still not shopping Black. See, as a business owner myself, and as someone who is African American, I understand that it is hard to try to compete with prices when people are getting over, when people are putting cheap products and food and hair products. It is so hard as a honest businessman, as an honest businesswoman who wants to keep their prices low while keeping their quality high. We all know that you get what you pay for. So I understand that a lot of my Black people are like, well, when you shop Black owned, it costs the arm and the leg. I don't think you understand how much it is to be independent as a business owner and to go through these manufacturers to get these clothing, to get these products, and to ship them overseas and have to pay for shipping, have to pay for import tax, have to pay for U.S. tax as well as that. And then we also get taxed whenever you make a purchase. We don't have big corporations. We don't have these evil corporations. We don't have these money hungry people who are appointed to us. So let's focus less on these people and let's focus more on our people.
There you go. There you go. I mean, that there. Appreciate hearing that from that young brother. Again, I think the assignment should be the mindset should be that what we're doing it for the betterment of our people, the empowerment of our people, for our people's independence, and financially, especially because, again, once we get it together financially, then we have leverage. This is the country. This is the makeup of the country. It is a capitalistic country, the most capitalistic country on the face of the planet, and capitalism is disguised, or they use the disguise of democracy to cover what this country is really about. It's capitalism. Damn democracy. Capitalism wins out over democracy here in this country and, in fact, all over the world. Let's focus on that. Let's focus on that. Our financial leverage. That's what we need to be focused on. Everything else is a distraction. So pay no mind. Let us know what you think about this, because, here at TAP, we're not buying it. We're not buying the products from any of them. And we're not buying the narrative, the propaganda now. We're being racist or, this is about hatred and this. And we're not buying none of that. This is about us coming together, our solidarity in terms of our dollars and learning to do for ourselves. That's what we'll pay for. We'll buy that. That other stuff, no, we're not buying it. Not one bit. Let us know what you think in the comments. Give us your thoughts, whether you agree with this or not. We would love to hear what you have to say, and we'll respond accordingly, okay? So until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. All right.
You can murder a liberator, but you can't murder liberation. You can murder a revolutionary, but you can't murder revolution. And you can murder a freedom fighter, but you can't murder freedom.